new location due to the fact that where I live is extremely noisy and the neighbours, which are that way, are complete and utter pricks. Anyway, to the task at hand. Recently I made a video where I explained, in my opinion, how some of the S8's features didn't quite, on paper, look like they were going to be great. And so I kind of took that and I got a lot of negative feedback. Mainly childish, as you can tell by these comments, but there was a small pocket of great feedback, which, you know, again, even if it's negative, I'm happy if it's constructive, and these guys kind of helped me. One thing came out of it that I really like, and that is that you guys introduced me to an app called CornerFly. It takes your smartphone screen, an Android smartphone screen, and it overlays corners, rounded corners on the corners of the screen, and allows you to basically have yourself almost an S8-like screen, so you can tell whether you like the rounded corners or not. Now, I've been using it for maybe the past 2 or 3 days, and I paid the 99 pence for the full version actually, so you know, I'm a pretty balling kid right now, you know, all that YouTube ad revenue. But no, I did invest in it just to see what it's like, and the Pro version does allow you to change the size of them, change the amount of corners. You can cover 3 corners or 2 corners, whatever you want. It also allows you to change the colour of the corners, which I kind of didn't kind of understand why, but then I understood then that once you have it on a different kind of screen, you know, maybe a phone that's not black or white or pink, then it allows you to kind of colour match, which I think is actually a great thing, and I didn't see that in the first place. So what it does is essentially allows you to cover the corners of your screen like you would on the S8 or G6. Now, I did start playing around with it, and to be honest, I take back my thing about the rounded corners. It would have been more of a difficulty if they'd have implemented the 16:9 form factor, but I'm just not a fan of the 18.5:9. So rounded corners in this case doesn't really matter because you're not really going to be watching video at full screen anyway. And again, the app is fantastic. It's free for the version that gives you kind of a decent kind of demo. It's more like a demo instead of a free version. And then of course you do get the 99p or £1 that allows you to customize it. Now overall, I think it looks quite good. I have a black OLED screen, and so what it does is it actually just turns off the corner kind of pixels so they're completely black, and because I have a black phone, it kind of works quite well at night. However, during the day, because the black on the S7, as you can probably tell, there's a different color of black from the chassis almost to the screen itself. It's kind of, it doesn't quite add up because of course it is giving you that true black on the screen, but it doesn't quite add up because it just looks like someone's cut off the corner of the screen. And as I was writing this video, I was going to say that if you had a white, silver, pink, blue phone, whatever, you would have troubles because it only displays in black. But then I paid for the full version, which allows you to actually change the color of the corners. Now, the aesthetic of it, I kind of actually like. I was very kind of tempted to just leave it and not even bother, but I thought it would make a fun video as you guys wanted to see software, and I am working on that S4 video. Honestly, it's harder than you think. But it actually kind of matches phones, especially if you've got kind of one of these phones which has got kind of rounded corners anyway. It kind of fits in. If you've got kind of a Sony Z series device or something, I can't see it quite working just because it's more of a square design, although I could be wrong. Again, I am mostly wrong in these videos. Now, something else that CornerFly does is it gives you a quick settings toggle. So you know when you drag down the notification bar and then you've got the quick settings, which is another swipe, or sometimes you can just do it with 2 fingers. Well, it gives you this kind of option where you can do kind of a toggle on or off, just like you would Bluetooth or any other kind of thing like that, feature like that, and it gives you the ability to just do it on the fly, which I really like. Changing the size, I kind of go for the midway point in how big I want the corners, just because too much can kind of leave it kind of not working very well and cutting off too much of the screen, because it doesn't actually compensate for the applications you have on the screen. So if you turn it off, your applications at the top and your time and date and all that is going to stay the same. If you put it on midway or just turn it on at all, it's going to cut some of that out if you're not careful and if you don't have the correct scaling. So this is something that's different from the G6 and the S8, where they actually deliberately move the UI elements a little bit further in at the top so that you can actually read them and they're not cut off by the screen. The UI, as you can probably tell if you can actually see that, is very simple, and I will show B-roll of it. It's a very simple way of using an application. All it is basically toggles, and then the color, you get a full RGB selection, so you can literally tailor it to as best color match you want to your phone. And of course you've got the size, you've got applications that you can like disable it on and enable it on, and overall I think the UI is just fantastic. I think it's a fantastic application. I like the design of it, and I like the way that it really just enables you to do this. Now, there are a few caveats to it. Number one, if you have a display that isn't OLED at all, so that could be OLED, AMOLED or Super AMOLED, if you don't have any of those, it can be a little bit tricky because it is still going to light those corner pixels, and so at night time especially, you're still going to see a square screen just with some weird vignetting almost over the top. Whereas if you've got an AMOLED screen, so literally any Samsung S series flagship, I'm not really sure what the lower end Samsungs are having, but stuff like that, and then you've also got the Pixel, the Nexus, and other things that have OLED screens, and you're going to be fine because it's just going to turn off those pixels. So at night time, where you can't really see the rest of the screen, or sorry, the rest of the device, you're going to get like a rounded corner screen, which is going to be what the app was tailored to actually do. I really like this application. I think it's fantastic. I think it overlays the screen really well. I think it works well that you can change different things. I would definitely, if you are going to get it, if you are going to commit to it, do pay the £1 or $1, whatever it is, to get the full version, because you just get so many more, I wouldn't say features, more like almost necessities to make it fit your device. So please like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Tell me in the comments what you thought about these kinds of videos. Do you want to see them? Do you want to not? I'm not really sure. I uploaded the PC video and it got like 0 views, and my views instantly dropped almost in half. So that's fantastic. But you know, uploading more phone software videos. Again, I don't have any more phones that I can really just make videos on. I've got the S4, but I have to plan my videos so much and make sure that they are not making a noise at the same time. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you're new around here because it really does help out the channel, and I will see you in the next video.